good cameraman. Yeah. Do you want anything fun for Halloween?
No.
You didn't dress up? Coach?
No, I just hung out. Me and my wife went out to eat.
No, one last encore dance performance?
No, my dancing days are over.
Okay. That's a shame. It was impressive.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it another time. Just...
All right, we're good.
Okay, Coach, so you guys 3-0 in district now. Another pretty convincing win, other than letting them score on that first, was it the first possession of the game?
Yeah, I think maybe.
Or it's towards the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it's the beginning of it.
But other than that, you guys played pretty well all around, it seems like. I guess, what were your thoughts on it, though?
Well, I thought we played real well. There was a lot of distractions last week, weather, and our practices were all, jumbled up, and, homecoming festivities and all the things that go on with that. So I thought we came out, we were a little bit sluggish when we started. But then after the first quarter, I thought we really settled down and played real well, second quarter especially. And I felt our defense played good the whole game. They really got after it, and I thought we had a lot of bright spots on that side.
And defensively, like you said, y'all really stepped up the last couple of games. 7 points, in each of the last two games, which is, pretty amazing, looking at how things started off, although those are some really good teams. But here are some of the guys that really, you think, stepped up in the last few weeks to kind of help.
On defense?
Yeah, on defense.
Well, I think we had some guys finally settled in, like Bryson McNutt, been making a bunch of plays for us. Ty Casey, we finally, I think, got him where he belongs, position-wise, and he's really looking good. Kente Nichols is playing really well for us in the secondary, so is Snelson. I think they're just getting better at what we're asking them to do. We did move a couple of people first couple of games, but now that we've settled in, I think they're just getting better, and hopefully week by week we continue to do that.
And, Malachi is, again, he's another guy who's really been playing especially well the last few weeks. He's tied that school record for touchdown passes twice now. Just talk about him, and do you think that he's going to maybe get an opportunity to do that? It seems like he's getting like 4 or 5, and then like in the first half, something like that. And then obviously you get lead when that happens, so it's kind of hard to.
Yeah, we don't go into anything worrying about that kind of stuff, but he's played great, man. He's, especially here at home, he's had 2 really big games for us, and he's the leader of our team. He's got to play good for us to be good, and he's been doing that, and I think that's a big part of us being 0-3 and now we're 3-3 is his play has really carried us. Him and Montavious Dobbins. Those two, Montavious has been playing great on defense, and really led our defense up front, and so has Malachi on offense.
I guess just going back to defense, Shea mentioned the last 2 games you guys have allowed 14 points, which is a great stat for you guys. I guess just kind of looking at the unit as a whole, how have you seen them kind of transform from the beginning of the year to now?
Well, just most of it's just been, the guys have kind of, we had a lot of guys back, but we had to move a couple of those guys to different positions. And then Montavious was off of our JV. Baby D was off of our JV. So that we've had some kids that have really played well this year, but it took them a little while, because of just who we played with some of it, them not getting a whole bunch of experience, not having spring, all those things that we've talked about. I just think you're seeing us and a whole bunch of other football teams just now kind of hitting their groove, because of how long it took to get to the games and then how the games have actually been.
I feel like I took this angle last week, and I'm not actually 100% sure if I did or not, but I know that, looking back, I think I told you it's like 19 now, or 18 or 19 that you guys have won when you've been a member of the conference out west, meaning like the Little Southwest Conference, district games. With that being said, what is it just about it playing in that district that has led to so much success for you guys?
Well, we just, I just think that we match up a little better with people that are, in towns like ours. I think that has a little bit to do with it. We really get fired up to be in the Little Southwest Conference. It's a lot of tradition and a lot of history. It's a lot of fun. Like I've said before, everyone has a nice stadium, and everyone's well coached, and you got to come to play, and it's always a close game usually, It's a great game for fans to watch, and fans care about it out here. You know, I think you can see that by the crowds we've had with the COVID-19 thing. I mean, and on the road we've had good crowds. So, you know, it's cared about. It's something that's important, and I think that's part of the reason that we kind of get a little more juice when we play teams out here. You know.
Looking at Midland High, they, I guess, had the week off, but only 2 games in district, 1-1. They have played the same teams that you guys have so far. Have you done a lot of looking into them on film and everything?
Oh yeah. Midland has a good program. I mean, you know, they got really good skilled guys on offense. Quarterback throws the ball extremely well. Defensively, they run to the football. You know, they've played some of the same teams we've played. Like they played Odessa and Friendship, so have we. So there's a lot of comparisons. They beat Odessa. Friendship got the best of them, and so you know it's kind of where we're all kind of in the same boat here, and it's another big game for us. The biggest challenge we're going to have is traveling. You know, we got to go to Midland, got to play them there. That's always tough, and then. We have a chance to clinch a playoff spot, you know, so hopefully that, you know, that's a good motivation for us. But on the other hand, they're fighting for a playoff, you know, position at Midland because they're 1-1 right now because they had an open date. So we're all in the middle of this thing, just, you know, trying to find a way to get there.
It's a pretty cliche question, but when you look at this matchup, what would you say would be some of the keys to the games for you guys?
Well, I mean, it's always turnovers for us and penalties. I mean, that's really what it is. When we have a bunch of those, we don't play very well. Not many teams do. And when we clean that up, we're a pretty good football team. You know, I think you've seen the last 3 weeks we've done a lot better in that area. Friendship, we had a couple of turnovers, kept us from getting in the end zone, kept that game closer for a longer period of time. Abilene and Odessa, I thought we played pretty clean, and I think that showed in the results. So if we can just clean up our offensive mistakes that we create for ourselves, we're a pretty tough team to beat.
Coach, you said it a little while ago. You were right in the middle of this thing. And every other school in the Concho Valley, Lakeview on down,
right.
They're all getting ready for their last regular season game or the playoffs.
Right.
Is that something that's even noticeable to you guys, that everybody else is getting ready for that postseason and looking to the playoffs? But you still have work to do, or are you just focused on our 6A schedule this year?
Well, I mean, we are just focused on us, but I mean, it's just you know, the thing that kind of is the weird thing is the weather. You know, you're not used to it being this kind of weather at this point in the season. It is playoff weather, you know, and that kind of like the time change. It's kind of like that's always right around playoff time, and so those kind of biological clock things are they're kind of messing with you a little bit, but we're focused in on what we're doing and who we got to play, and you know, we still got 3 tough district games.
I saw that, you know, Midland, y'all are about a 24-point favorite over Midland, but it seems like every time you go to Grande, whether it's against Lee or Midland, regardless of who's favored, the games are always really close.
Yeah. Really
tough games to win there.
It's just a hard play. I mean, like everybody in this district, they all play good at home, you know. They're used to playing there just like we love playing here, and it's a tough place to go and play. And we, you know, the way our schedule fell this year, we got to go to Grande twice, and then next year we go to Ratliff twice. So it's a tough deal, but you know, it's tough on them when they got to come here. You know, that's just the way it is. That's why you have a home field advantage. And I tell our kids all the time, you can't worry about that stuff. You just go. You do the best you can. You play as hard as you can. Hopefully you don't create your own problems, and usually it'll take care of itself.
You know, you mentioned the fact that you guys can clinch a playoff spot, and just how that's a motivation, and it's pretty much in its own right.
Right.
Obviously, I know that's not the only goal that you guys have as far as a team, and especially since y'all right now are in first place in district and everything. But what have you been kind of preaching to the guys as far as, you know, yeah, we're 3-0, we have the chance to clinch that playoff spot, but looming for us are 2 maybe of our biggest games of the season against teams that, you know, could be right there with us for a district title.
Well, I mean, our goals are always to make the playoffs. You know, that's number 1 always. And then district championship would be after that, and then a state championship would be after that. But, you know, the first one's always make the playoffs, so that's the first one this week. You know, we can clinch that. No matter what we do in those last 2 games, we would still be in the playoffs. So that's our focus this week, is to beat Midland, get in the playoffs, and then we'll worry about it. But the good thing for us is we get an open date after this, and we need one. You know, it's been a pretty good grind, and we'll get us a little rest after this. And so we're trying to clinch, and then we're trying to get some rest, and then we'll worry about Permian Lee.
Perfect.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.